Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and first off I need to apologise that I haven't uploaded for a while. In fact about 10 months, I think 11 months. I've been concentrating on another channel that I've got, which is called Random Matt. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Basically I've just been concentrating on other things, sort of urbex, a bit of urban exploring, paranormal, all the weird and wonderful things, and that channel sort of took off in quite a good way. It's only been up, what, 4 or 5 months now, and there's nearly 200 subscribers on that channel, and I sort of stuck with that, and I haven't really been out on the banks a lot. I've still been doing the odd dabbling and going out with the sun and things like that, but I've not been proper fishing in ages, and that's all about to change, because in about 50 days, so beginning of October, I'm going over to Spain. I'm going to do a couple of days on the Ebro, and then from there I'm going to, again, this is a mix of me exploring the historic sites as well as fishing, so I'm going to be doing videos for both channels. But from Spain I'm going to head up through the Pyrenees into France, and then basically the remaining sort of 8 days or so is going to be sort of a fishing road trip, if you like, as I make my way over to Normandy, where I'm going to jump on the ferry and come home. Now, I didn't want to go all at it with the fishing gear, because obviously it's not just a fishing trip. It's going to be like Canfranc railway station, the old Nazi railway station. I'm going to explore there. There's a few war-torn villages and things, and abandoned villages that I want to look around. So it wasn't all about the fishing, and so I didn't want to take all my gear and fill the car up with fishing gear like I did last year when I went to France with my dad. It needed to be a small setup that I could take and sort of fish when I had chance, basically. The Ebro's a couple of days, so I wanted something compact yet strong, and something that was going to work for me sort of on the bigger lakes in France and Spain. And I'd never really thought about the dwarf stuff. I've kind of moved away from Nash over the last few years. I mean, when I first got into fishing, it was Nash this, Nash that. You know, I had the first Titan when it was launched, and everything. I had all the Nash stuff, all the luggage, rods with the Nash Pursuit Horizons, Shimano bait runners, that sort of thing. And I've sort of gone back into Nash a little bit, only for this trip really, because the rods are pretty good. I know Fox do the EOS extendable rods and things, but the dwarfs just really seem to stand out. So I've got myself a pair. I'm only going to be taking 2 rods, and obviously what I like about the Nash Dwarf rods is obviously they're compact. I mean, there we go, that's Nash Dwarf. This is the 10-foot 3.5 test curves, and really nice thin blanks on them. Feel really tough. The only thing I'm not so keen on is obviously the extending bit. It does rattle around, it doesn't feel very in there. I have used the rods a couple of times just to test them out, and they do perform quite well. And once you've extended it and locked it in place, that rattle goes, and it's a solid one-piece blank then. So I mean, I don't think it's going to be an issue. It's just nice that, you know, you can pack them down to next to nothing. 10-foot rods, I think they pack down to about 4 feet in total. So yeah, I thought I'd go with those, give them a go. As I say, they feel quite nice to handle really for such a small rod. And to be fair, it's only 2 foot shorter on my 12 footers that I use every day. So they're not the smallest rods you can get. I know you get the sawn offs at sort of 6, 7, 8 feet, things like that. So, but I mean, price wise, they're really good. I mean, I think the 3.5 test curves are $59.99 each, and I think with a brand name as well, you know what you're getting. You're going to get quality, and these rods are very well made. And in the butt section, you've got the Nash logo with a little isotope slot, and also a built-in line clip. So yeah, I mean, I quite like the rods. I think they're going to do perfect for what I want, and I've actually decided to pair them with the BP10s from Nash. I thought, well, Nash rods, may as well have Nash reels. So again, I've got a pair of BP10s. It took, because I use the, for this particular reel anyway, I've got the Fox Exo set, 18 pound, which is a 0.35 millimeter diameter, and that actually, over half a spool went on this, so about 450 yards went onto this reel. So, you know, and for the price, again, about 55 quid each, you know, you can't really go wrong. You know, you got like the quick release folding handle, so you just push it in, and then when you want it reel, you just pull it out. So I quite like that. Fast drag, you know, 1.5 turns and the drag's on. So again, not a bad reel really, and for sort of traveling, you know, it's ideal. And then when it came to, obviously these, when you buy them, don't come with a case of any sort at all. They basically come in a polythene bag, which obviously you rip open to get the rods out, and that's it. You've got no protection for the rod, which is how I guess these companies make their money, because you've then got to go out and buy rod skins for them. But actually I got quite lucky with these, although I will not use angling direct. I think they're, you know, they're destroying the fishing industry with their ways. I mean, I know they're cheap, but a lot of these smaller companies now, who are you know, angling direct, pushing out the industry, they will work with you really hard. I use Johnson Ross all the time now, and they're always willing to do what they can to match, if not better, angling direct's prices. And at least I know when I'm paying them and buying things from them, they're putting food on their kids' table rather than money in their investors' pockets. So that's what it's all about for me. Admittedly though, I did get these from Angling Direct because I think these are an older version of the Dwarf rod skins, and they were $7.99 each rather than 20 quid each. So I got a pair of those to keep the rods in, and they're not all that bad. I mean, I think obviously the newer version of the Nash stuff is camo rather than just the olive green, but yeah, they work really well, and they're well made. So I've got those for the rods. I think they're perfect as well because they actually sit long ways in the boot of my car. I don't have to put the seats down. Admittedly, I'm going to have to anyway because I've got a brolly system and that, but you know, if I was just going out for an afternoon session, I could just put the rods in the boot, not worry about having the seats down, and it's job done. And I think they're going to be ideal for things like the Ebro and some of the big lakes over in France. Generally I wouldn't use 18 pound line. I normally use the soft steel in 16 pounds. So but yeah, I mean, 18 pound with such a small diameter is pretty good, and it does pretty much go invisible in the water as well, which I like. But so yeah, that's the Dwarf rods. So I was a bit concerned about having an extendable rod, but yeah, they're well made. I think over time you're going to end up scratching the blank with the constant in and out, so longevity might not be its strong point, but overall it's a well made rod, and if you want something small and compact, it's the rod to go for. Admittedly, I'll have a look at the EOS rod at some point, do a review on that. But paired with that, I mean, if I want to do a bit of float fishing down a river or a canal, I've also got one of these NGT travel setups, which is really cool. I mean, it's one of the best float rods I think I've ever used, and it's, you know, it's NGT, the lowest of the low in the fishing industry, but actually they do make some pretty good stuff. Not all of it, but when it comes to this rod, I was really impressed. So in there you've got it comes with a reel, which is really smooth, nice looking reel, and then in there you've got a 6 foot 6 section rod. So ideal for just, you know, having a bit of fun with down a river or something like that. And yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. So I've got my float rod and a pair of carp rods. Now paired with that, I've got again, this is all just going to be for my compact setup. I've gone for a Nash K&X 2-rod pod. Not going to be doing a great deal of night fishing, but I have decided to go for 2 Delkim 25 special alarms just for that setup, because I don't need the receiver for that, and they've been discontinued, so I want to make sure I've got a couple. Same with the EV Plus. I mean, I don't need it, but I've got it because they've been discontinued. Delkim aren't going to make anything that's not wireless anymore, so things like the EV Plus, the standards and the 25 specials, they've all been discontinued. They're not making them anymore. They're only making the new D alarms. So even the TXIs, I've been looking for a receiver now for a while. Everywhere's out of stock. They can't get them back. So if you do like your Delkim stuff, get it now before it goes. And yeah, I'm gonna do a lot more on this channel now. There's going to be masses of reviews. I've just got hold of one of these super cheap 80 quid Chinese bait boats, which I want to try out just for a laugh. And again, that's just going to be for the Ebro and stuff. I mean, there's no point carting a massive micro cat around with me when this tiny little boat still does 1.5 to 2 kilos of bait, and if it floats off downstream, I'm not too bothered. Yeah, so I'll do a review on that. We'll take that out and have a look. Also the new R series Fox stuff, I'm going to have a look at some of that, including the brolly system, which I'm taking with me when I go over to France. And then next year, I mean, my son's got really heavily into fishing now. I'm going to take him over to France probably next year as well. And there's just going to be loads and loads of content coming now, so make sure you subscribe. I say, if you like urban exploring and all the weird and wonderful stuff, check out the channel down below, and just make sure you subscribe and like the videos. And I'm going to keep going with this and really pushing this channel, and get some giveaways sorted out as well, because I've got loads of stuff here that I've been sent that I just, you know, I'll review and we will give out. So I hope you enjoyed the video. That's the Dwarf rods, 10 foot 3.5 test curves. It's not a full in-depth review. We're not taking it out on the bank just because a rod's a rod. I just wanted to talk about some of the features of it and what makes it so special. And I will see you guys on the next video, which shouldn't be too far away. See you there.